This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language. Welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with your hosts, Miss Kiki Love and Miss Nisha B of Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. We're just two dope sisters who love to talk about sex and give our amazing guests a platform to share their experiences and expertise as it pertains to sex, love, and the Black experience. So let's get started. All right, y'all. Welcome to our podcast. It's called Sex, Love, and the Black Experience, hashtag SLBE. I am one of your hosts. My name is Miss Nisha B. And I'm going to introduce you to our guests and our hosts, our other co-hosts. And so we'll start with you, my queen.
Hey everybody, it's Miss Kiki Love. What's going on?
Hey, and over here we have two beautiful women who are joining us today. And so we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Princess Shaylah.
Hey. And afterwards, at the end, we're going to let you share all y'all social media and everything where people can find y'all. This is the opportunity we giving y'all the platform. We getting to know y'all. We're going to have wonderful conversations. And
I am Kinky Kirra.
Kinky Kirra and Princess Shaylah. Thank you guys so much for joining. You know, you guys are helping to make this show. We really are highlighting local people here in Arizona who are in the world of sex, sexuality, and sexual health and wellness, because we wanted people to know that here in Arizona, it is popping too. It's not just New York. It's not just Atlanta. It's not just LA. We have the goods here, y'all. Come here. So I want to, we always start off our show with what is called fuck shit. Okay. And we just thought of something to talk about because we are just getting frustrated with social media and how they keep, they just keep blocking our stuff and turning our stuff off. So we're going to talk about it. Miss Kiki, go ahead and tell people about the fuck shit today.
So today's fuck shit is about Sir Marvelous, who is a pro BDSM dom in New York, and his page got banned by Instagram. So when I saw that his new page, he followed us, and I looked at it and I thought it was a fake page. Right. Instantaneous. I was like, oh, somebody done made a fake page. And I was like, we're not about to sit up here and deal with that. I was like, it's too early in the morning for that. So no, then he messaged me on WhatsApp this morning. He was like, hey, it's me. It's not a fake page. It's me. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you got banned? So yeah, he was well over 10,000 followers on his page. No, it was more than that. He was well over that.
18,000 plus.
And so they banned him. And so speaking for like sex workers and things like that and what we do, because we're all encompassing, we're sex educators. We're a part of sex work is work. And it's just, it bothers me because I've had multiple pages taken down on Instagram. So I know how hard it is to get your followers up. This is my third Instagram account, Knowledge of Self page. And I was at my second account was over at 1,000, and then they shut me down. So I'm telling you, like, to get your followers up and to have this big, huge platform like Instagram, like Facebook, to completely shut you down. And
after all the hard work,
it's just it's so annoying and so fucking frustrating to sit up here and have to do a whole new page and all new content and just deal with all of that bullshit that is so goddamn frustrating, because you have to go and find all these new people.
Yeah, it is. So you guys, The previous IG page for Sir Marvelous was Sir Marvelous Kinks with an S, and it's now Sir Marvelous Kink without the S. So you guys, please follow him, show him some love. He's also going to be a guest. He's also going to be a guest at our Melanated Sex Expo. You guys, no one has done this, okay? We've got people calling us nationally, internationally that want to know how they can do this. So we might be traveling with this, y'all. So get your tickets. That's a shameless plug. So now I'm going to come to I'm going to come to Shaylah and Kirra. I'm sure probably in your world and what you do, you probably have been running up against with social media and things like that. Do you have anything you want to share about that?
Just that it's really hard. It's really hard in our community when there's so many, guidelines and stipulations that are put upon us as sex workers and just on social media in general. Like we have to walk on eggshells when it comes to the content that we post, the types of captions that we put with it, the types of hashtags that we put with it, because everything is being monitored. But at the same time, there's this incredible double standard because you see people with millions of followers making millions of dollars that are doing literally the exact same thing.
What about it's just like, do you think it has something to do with being Black and being in sex work?
No, I don't think it necessarily has something to do with being Black, because I know plenty of sex workers that aren't, of color, like, Smokey the Babe, who does photography as well as modeling. There's also, you've met Lady Leanie, who's also not Black, but she's been through just as much, trouble with social media, trying to constantly getting their pages taken down, constantly being flagged, constantly being monitored. So I don't think it has anything to do necessarily with color, but I think it has everything to do with society and people of age necessarily. I really think that it comes down to, these are adults that are doing these things, but these aren't famous adults that are doing these things.
Right, I got what you're saying. So you feel like it's if they feel like if you're a little bit more famous, you have a little bit more leeway.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the reason why I asked that question is because a few years back, Kim Kardashian posted some very, crude pictures online, basically showing everything, nipples, ass, all that kind of stuff. And there was an Instagram model. Her name is Britt Bree or something like that. And she was posting the exact same photos and everything reported. So it was like, where is the double standard? Where does it lie? Like, and she's not in the sex, and she doesn't do sex work. She's a model. So it's like, why is Kim Kardashian getting and being allowed to do all these things and show nudity and basically show her entire vagine online with no kinds of any kind of anything, no kind of consequences, and her page is still up. She's never been flagged. She's never even been reported like that. Her page is still up and running. But people like us that do this for real, our pages are constantly getting taken down.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one question that everyone should be asking is, where exactly is the line?
Right.
You don't know. I feel like it's just people just making shit up as they go along, and then certain words that you say, like it's the same thing in politics too. Because I know a lot. I follow a lot of political independent, political commentators, and they get shadow banned and all of that stuff all the time too, because they're trying to. They talk about, we're trying to get rid of fake news, but it's like even the larger media outlets, they put out fake news, but you call them legit. So it really, I agree with you. A lot of it has to do with your standing in society more so as opposed to, as opposed to if you are Black or white. But I still do think that there's still racism in a lot of that underlying. There's underlying racism in that. You have and then Kirra, I'm gonna get your word, and then we'll talk about OnlyFans too, because we talked about that a little bit. Kirra, let's talk about your experiences and
for sure. For some reason my name on anything, they just on me. So I'm always just 3 seconds. They're always monitoring me. I had a whole falling out with Instagram and Twitter and all of the whole platforms on, you know, who I am as a nudist, as a kinkster, as a model of, you know, erotic art of what I do. And, you know, obviously, yes, my sex work. Yeah, it's a platform that I do want to, you know, have my equal share on. But yeah, it is crazy how people can be on their, you know, have their little tiny bikinis and stuff like that. Yeah. And, you know, I'm in body paint or something like that. It's just all like, where does the guideline kind of go?
And you don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know.
I get reported, but they don't get
know.
reported. They don't, exactly. And it's just the computer system, you know, just flagging and tagging. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this year I'm getting away from all of the media, honestly, and just starting doing websites, buying domains and just building websites, because you can put your own nips on your own website.
Right. Absolutely. And then you just put that 18, you know what
exactly, I'm saying? When you enter into my website.
Just put 18 plus when you enter my website. Yeah. So, yeah, I find that a lot of people in the industry are starting to do that because
it's tiring.
It's almost like they need to create a social media or something for it. But then there was the OnlyFans, right? And let's talk about that. Like, what happened at first? I don't know. I think what happened was they were trying to get investors. Right. So they started the OnlyFans, right? And then they were trying to get investors, right? And so then they tried to change their rules and say that they weren't going to work with sex workers, when that's what put them on the map in the first place.
Which is what a lot of companies do. A lot of companies use sex workers to make $1 billion and to make all this money and to build themselves up. Like, what was one of the bigger companies that first started at PayPal is famous for that. You know, that was one of the first outlets that sex workers could use to transport their money and to hold their money. Then all of a sudden,
because traditional banks won't allow you to get business loans. Like, I remember when we first, you know, started. No, like seriously, they let us sign up, get the banking, all that good stuff. And then when they found out what we did, even though we're not considered sex workers, but we're in the industry.
There's a problem.
It's a problem, and they
shut us down.
When literally he had the bank manager called me on the phone and was like, "Due to the nature of your business,
we're not gonna work with you.
We can't work with you." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
Because we asked him. I'm like, "So, strippers can't, you know." Porn stars can't, you know, get a bank, a business account with you guys or anything like that. They were like, no. I'm like, what? Like, it is very much so, like, it's in the nature of everything that we do, as far as in the sex industry, and it's so goddamn frustrating that we have all these limitations and boundaries, but all of y'all watching us, like, period.
Right. You spending your money, it's a need. Yeah, absolutely.
Every single time.
Absolutely. I was telling Kiki that we got to get some people in the like business world, the credit world and stuff like that, to come on here and talk and show people sex workers in the industry, because you're a business. And a lot of people, you know, like I know people who are hairdressers that don't treat their business like a business, and have somebody on here like, how can you really monetize and make your, you know, build your credit up and all that with what you do. So that is a goal. So anybody out there that is in that industry, I mean, that's like in the financial world, that might want to join us and talk about that, we definitely want to do that, because I really believe, you know, that this is a legitimate business. Need. You know, it's not a multi-billion-dollar industry for no reason. But so that's our fuck shit. All right. So now we're going to really get into why you guys are here, and let's have a conversation about who you are. This is your platform. We're going to ask some questions the questions that I know I have, and that maybe even the audience may have. So Princess Shaylah, if you could just let us know what it is that you do. And then we can talk, and then Kirra, we'll have you, Kinky Kirra, we'll have you share as well.
Okay. Well, when it comes to what I do, that's a really like broad statement. Like, especially when you're working in the sex world, it's like, well, what do I do? You kind of like take a step back, like, well, I do this, and if someone asked me to, I would be open to doing this, and it's a lot of just kind of like living day to day,
Right.
just being in the community. What really I would classify what I do is I am a model for the community and kind of like an ambassador, I would say. I started out as a professional dominatrix, and then from there I just kind of grew and developed my way into this crazy
So what's
world.
the dominatrix?
So a dominatrix is someone that specializes in BDSM. But I specialize now in mostly just life education and life coaching and helping people understand like their kinks and helping people understand themselves and how to live in a healthy, active lifestyle.
Awesome. Healthy and active.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Love it. And Kirra?
Yeah, same. I really started in the community as a shibari model here, and I kind of was just.
Now, what's shibari? Just give everybody a
Yeah, it's basically being tied up in rope. No, it's the art. It is the art. It's the Japanese style of rope art, or I guess a traditional like escape artist type of vibe or restriction of a situation.
Rope bondage art is what I always tell people.
Exactly. It's art. It's a rope bondage of a situation.
It's very beautiful.
It's super beautiful. It is very, very, very intense. It is something that you work up to. It's just not something like you like, oh, I want to do it, and then think you're gonna get up there and last a long time. I promise you, it is not that.
I got a quick story. Hold on. So I'm so, because Princess Shaylah introduced me to it. I was like, that is so hot and sexy. And I actually want to do something like that for my 50th. When I do my boudoir shot, I want to do a rope, like a shibari photo. So I told my husband, I was like, I want to do this. So we sat there and we watched a YouTube video on it, and they were doing it. And then he looked at me, he was like, that shit take too long. I'm be ready to go to do something. And I got time to be trying to figure out all them knots and stuff. So it is truly an art to it. And I just wanted to share that.
Exactly. So from that, being tied up and, from learning to be tied up and learning to do the tying,
right?
It transitioned me to being more part of the kink community and being more of the model. And really an advocate for, the colored folks in the community, opposed to, oh, she's just, this platform, or she's just this poster vibe. It's just like, no, I have a mouthpiece and I'm moving around with it.
Right.
I have transitioned into, dom work. So I specialize, I'm a fetish specialist. So that's what I do. I specialize in different individuals, fetishes, making them comfortable and, figuring out what they are and who they are. I am, a fire performer, fire eater, dancer.
Ooh,
all
awesome.
of that.
Girl, that shit is so hot. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but if you check her out on Instagram, a girl fire eating girl.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. The sparks and everything.
Now, will you do that at
Wild.
the expo?
Whatever. I know we're giving her a platform. She's going to give everybody a little something.
Yes.
We want to see it for the party because we're trying to make it spicy. For that party, because
you don't need some fire extinguishers ASAP.
Phoenix, honey, they need to see some things.
Yes, and that's why I'm here, and all about it. I transitioned to like performing burlesque and making it my own burlesque into it. So I been practicing straitjacket to staple gunning to like wax play to just all types of things. And so it's like what don't
that's
I
what
do?
I'm saying. People have to see y'all.
This is so awesome.
This
Can't
sounds
wait
amazing.
for y'all to be on stage.
Yes, I'm
and
so
do
excited
your
to be able to
thing.
just share.
Yeah, we're excited. Listen, like when we put everything together, because we finally got our set list together. So we were like, okay, who gonna go? Who doing this? Who doing that? Who's doing this? And we were like, okay, we have the perfect list. So there's no more talent. Don't ask us. Don't be a part. There's no more talent. We got
it.
But we do need vendors, and we do need sponsors.
And we need volunteers
And
too.
volunteers.
I forgot to put that. We do need volunteers.
Yeah,
So
volunteers.
if you're like, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to help because it sounds amazing what you're doing, and we're getting a lot of hype nationally. Like I said, and internationally, people are asking us, like, how can we do that there? So it looks like, Kiki, we might have to travel with this.
Because
it's unlike anything. When you go to other expos, it's usually, I mean, you guys can attest, like if you go to events and stuff, it's a sprinkle of us, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So the whole thing about it is that we wanted to have something for us, by us. We wanted to foster a sense of inclusion. So if people come to the event, they can be like, I was interested in that, but I only saw white people. But wow, look at this beautiful sister over here in Shibari doing burlesque or doing whatever. Look at this sister here talking about, dom, what are we going to talk about? I forgot. We were going to talk about the,
wow.
I can't remember. I know it's a part of BDSM. We're giving you a platform, honey, and you gonna do your thing. But it's like giving people an opportunity who were curious or interested, but they never saw people that looked like them.
Right.
And so we wanted to provide a safe space that people could ask questions, meet people that are local, that, find your tribe. That's really what it's all about, is finding your tribe. So we're really excited to it's a very difficult feat, really trying to put this thing together. But because we're so passionate about it, it's like never give up, never give up. But so I want to talk a little bit about like your world, being Black in the kink world. Just tell us a little bit about y'all experience. Like when you first, like what made you interested in it, even though you didn't maybe not see a lot of people that looked like you, what made you interested in it, and then how you started getting involved in it. We'll start with you, Shaylah.
Okay. Well, I started out of the Den of Indomitus here in Central Phoenix, downtown. Been around for like 20 plus years now, I think, actually. Like, they've been around for a long time. I started out there as their phone girl and as their hostess. So literally, I was just answering the phone, making appointments, checking the door, walking people in and out. And I just got used to like the environment. I got used to all the girls, and everything was so interesting and fascinating. And I was like, wow, I actually really like this stuff. Right. This is actually pretty cool. Who would have thought? And then I Lady Leanie actually mentored me and took me under her wing and taught me all the stuff that I know. And at the Den of Indomitus, I got all the training that I needed to be a dominatrix and to specialize in the art of BDSM. And that really opened up a whole lot of new doors for me. Like,
that's awesome. Yes.
It was amazing. It was a really amazing experience. And being a person of color it's interesting in the sex world, because you have this side where like no one wants to be with you because you're a person of color, right? Because everybody has things they like, and that's perfectly fine.
They have their own preference.
But then you have people that only want to be with you because you're a person of color.
It's fetishized, kind of.
Exactly.
Like.
Right. And I don't do white men, so don't come up to me asking me nothing.
Okay. So it's, but I like white men. I like white boys. So it's
I love them all.
All right. Okay. So it's like, so then you have like this weird, like this weird split up where you're not making money because of your skin color, and you're only making money because of your skin color.
Wow.
And you're trying to find this niche where like, where do I find people that like me because of who I am, the stuff that I specialize in, the stuff that I love? Like, where do I find those people, and where do I find those clientele? And that is, I think, the biggest challenge, challenge, because not only do you have to find your niche in such a big world of like endless amounts of stuff,
right?
You have to find those people that are willing to find you because of your niche, support you because of your niche, and support you because of you and because of who you are and what you love, and not because of their own sexualizations of things.
Right.
So,
well, first of all, our color, like fetish should be a thing you're into, not your color.
Right.
Like being, I'm into black and big black cock and all of this stuff.
No,
it's like you're fetishizing a person and not the thing, like foot fetish.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying, pegging or things like that. Not black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
So I totally understand that. It's in the sex industry, that's the only place that it is acceptable.
Right.
Like that you can even, I was watching a an interview with
King Noir
and Just Setting Jasmine. They were on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and they were talking about like it's the only industry that you can have, you know, people say I don't want to work with white men, or I mean black men, or I don't want to work with. The porn industry is extremely racist. This type of people, and it's not. I mean, who you gonna go to? You can't go to HR. You can't go to nobody about it because it's already a marginalized industry.
I have something to say about that because I don't think that it's necessarily racism. I think that everyone is entitled to their preferences.
I agree,
and I think that when it comes to the sex work community, when it comes to sex, it's important that you're attracted to the person that you're paying money to.
I agree.
A lot of sex workers ask for a lot of money for the task that they do, and they're 100% entitled to do that.
But when the title is nigga fuck white woman, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
But when I get what you're saying, when you're hiring
someone to your preferences. You're hiring someone to what you are sexually attracted to.
But if you are working as a sex worker in a film,
right?
Do you feel like the person has a right to say, I don't work with black people? That's just like if I go to Amex or if I work for Discover or if I work for a corporation or somewhere and I say, oh, I don't want to work with him because he's black. So I understand if I'm hiring you, I should be able to pick who I want.
Right.
But if I am an employee, I've been hired on a set to be like, that's just like an actress themselves.
But that's the thing though.
Can they go on a set and it's not porn and say that they're not going to work with this black actor?
But that's the thing. In sex work, you only do what you want to do. You only pick up jobs that you see you're qualified for. You're not going to accept a job. You're not going to take an offer that you know you're not going to fit for. And likewise, the producers of porn sets and producers that put out that type of content, they're not going to reach out to the people that don't fit that type of content. Basically. And as a sex worker, that's kind of the freedom that we have. No, we don't have protections. Okay. No, we don't have HR. No, we don't have anybody to go to when somebody does us wrong. But we have 100% the power to say, ew, no, I don't want to do that. You know what? Yeah. This is cool. I like this. Can we negotiate on this? Like, we have that complete
autonomy to do that.
It does suck,
I get it. I understand what you're saying.
I do. It does suck though. To be able to think that you're not hireable by different producers because of your color, or vice versa, some other artists not wanting to work particular with your type of color.
Right.
And porn industry is why I'm prone for this community and advocating for my self color of who I am, also because we see as society porn, and yes, we have our fantasies, yes, we have our niches, but at the end of the day, these producers are still hiring lighter skinned collection, collection of that type to make us want to see and fantasize of this until people really realize of this is what I want and what I am paying for one-on-one. Yeah. It's a little different, but say so. If I don't want to work with them, I'm not going to work with them.
When you have titles like 12 years of slavery, all type
exactly.
That kind of shit,
don't come to me, or none of my other sisters either.
I can't, because when I saw that interview with King Noir and Jasmine, because yes, me and Nisha are in the sex industry, but we're not porn stars. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. So it opened my eyes, because he told a story about when he was on set and he was literally in the middle of a scene, and the white woman that he was working with called because she wanted to have sex with him off camera, and he was like, no. And she was like, somebody come get this nigger.
See.
And so and he literally walked off set because he was like, what?
I would too.
Right. So it's those types of situations where you're just like, what the fuck is this shit?
So I get what you're saying. Is you like having the autonomy to pick and choose who you want to work with, and even if white performers, if they say I don't want to work with black people, or I don't want to sleep with men who have slept, because there was a big thing about a woman who said she was interviewed and she said she don't sleep with men who sleep with men in porn, and she was ostracized. I think she even to the point where
the people got really mad at her.
She was like, it ruined her career. And so now it's like, I got what you're saying. It's like you forcing me to do something that I may not want to do. This is the reason why I'm in this industry, to have that autonomy. But there's levels to that shit. Like with what Kiki was saying about, you know, the whole thing about them, you just get this nigga. That's a whole different conversation. Now, if you say, I don't want to work with these people, and you know it up front and you have it in your contract. But then what do we do about that? Because I mean, white women and white people, they're more, you know, we're only used for certain scenes where the names or the titles
BBC,
are like what they are.
Terminology, like there are things in the porn industry that
go back to slavery.
Go back to slavery. Like BBC is a real racist term. Like there are things that.
But wait a minute, I met a guy. I watch his podcast. It's called Queens and Bulls. He's a black man. I had watched him on the Black and Kiki podcast via interview, because they were talking about how they, you know, in the swinger world, they don't really like that, but he likes it. He likes being desirable to Queen of Spades, you know, to the who tattoo their Queen of Spades on their body and only want the BBC, that whole type of thing. He doesn't feel that it is and I think it goes back to what you were saying. It's like it's whatever your preference is and whatever you like. He doesn't feel that it's racist. He likes that he's desired in that way, that it gives him a leg up.
But this is the thing though, right? And I talk about this often. I don't want to be desired by my body parts or by my color. Right. I want to be desired because you find me attractive as a human, not for my skin, not for my body parts.
But at the same time, there are people that look just like you and talk just like you that do want to be worshipped because of their skin color, because of their body parts, because of their body.
And that has to do with trauma, though, sis. That has to
and that's a totally different conversation. That's a totally different conversation. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that every single body deserves to be respected, and every single body deserves, even if you don't agree with someone's preferences, and even if you don't agree with the way that someone feels sexually, emotionally, mentally, you have no choice but to respect them.
Right.
Yeah, it's a layered and nuanced conversation, because when I watched that, it gave me new perspective, not just on what you guys do and what you guys have to put up with. And it's like, I know, because me and Niche work in the corporate world, in some of the largest corporations in the world, right? And I know that I would never, in the history of niggerdom, never ever ever will a white person come up to me and be like, you know, I don't want to work with this. I shop you in the.
But it took time too, because in the corporate world, it was like that. They have to abide by certain rules. But see, you're dealing with an industry that is not considered mainstream or not considered.
It's very taboo.
You know, it's taboo. So you're not going to get the same. You're not going to have the same kind of protection. Even like one of the examples that Just Setting Jasmine said was that even during when they were giving out the PPP loans, they're a legitimate porn company. But there's you know what I'm saying? There was a stipulation on those PPP loans that you could not be in the sex world or the porn world. You couldn't get, even though you were a legitimate business and COVID impacted your business, you could not even get money or loans or anything. So it's the whole industry as a whole is just looked at a different way. And I feel like when it comes to what I love about King Noir and Just Setting Jasmine is that they're creating their own space and realm with Royal Fetish Films, and they do the kink films and porn. But it's more
King and Jasmine.
Yes.
Pew, pew, pew,
yes. So you guys, Just Setting Jasmine and King Noir, and also Royal Fetish Films. When I watch those films, I feel like when I watch them, they're more passionate when it shows black people. It's a different, it looks like sex that you know what I'm saying?
That I
could see me having sex I want to watch. It's a lot more woman focused, A lot of times too, like, a lot of times you watch these porn and the woman is, you know what I'm saying, she on the man, he go down her on her for 2 seconds and then it's all about him and his penis is
The last one that I watched was when Jasmine was pregnant, and they had Jasmine and another goddess, and King was in the kitchen cooking, and he just ate them out for like the entire, like he just wanted to worship.
You don't see that.
Yeah, no, you don't see that in traditional porn. You don't see where a man is focused.
It's focused more on the woman. And so it
Yeah.
sounds like what we need to do as a collective is that we need to create our own films and things that it doesn't fetishize our color, but it's just all about what our kinks and what we like. So let's get to you. So let's talk about how you got started, Kinky Kirra, and like what led you to what it is that you're doing.
For sure. Yeah, I'm from Texas. I wasn't doing all this in Texas. I came out here to Phoenix by myself. I was invited to a birthday party, and it was actually a kink swingers birthday party. And so that was like my first introduction to anything of a community of where the hell am I? Like what's going on? What is all these people doing? And just, interesting of that. But yeah, I kind of found my niche as a shibari, a rope bunny, as you per se. I basically, my rigger Matthew Strong, shout out to him. He, was starting on his own shibari and starting needing a model, and I basically was like, sure, I'll go have a glass of wine and go to a sex party and get tied up. And so legit for like 2 to 3 years, 2 years straight, I was doing just that, honestly. Swinger parties, kink parties, all of that. And then finally he was all like, I want to get into like pictures and films and stuff. And I was like, bet. Got this photographer over, did a photo shoot, got published international, actually in a BDSM kink like publication. So after that, I was all like, okay, this is a field that I'm comfortable with, and everyone else is, who are you? What are you? And what else can you do type of vibe? And I'm going to show out. So honestly, I just took that by my hand. Being tied up and off the ground for so many times off the parties, it's not a lot of sprinkles of, color.
Yep.
And so every so often I'll like, teed out and be like, hi, you're color, I'm color, and then every so often it's kind of we built, and that's kind of how we kind of met, honestly, is in the community, and just really guys just kind of be like, oh, you're beautiful, like, can I fetishize about your butt? Can I ass worship you? Can I body worship you? Like, it was kind of that, like, your feet are so small because you're tiny and petite. I did get a lot of like the black and all of the e-bone and all of that extraness, and I'm all like, no. So yeah, you are correct. It was a lot of stuff I had to fight through and advocate for my own self and speak up. Like, that's probably what that other person does over there, and just because we're the same color doesn't mean we still gonna support and ride for the same cause, if that makes sense. We are, but you ain't gonna call me like this little fantasy. Like, you're not gonna do all that to me. You're not doing that for me. No.
Like, if you do it, go to her then. But that's
not me. Exactly.
And so you guys have to speak up like that all the time to people,
and that's basically
put them
where I
in
got
check.
Yeah,
basically, and that's why I'm here. Self advocating for my own self in this community of non-colored folks that actually want to be in here for their feet. Like, I like feet rubs type of vibe. Like, I do sessions. I have like I am a pro dom, so I literally just had a session yesterday, and it was a foot worship session. It was literally that. And
now, what is that? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, literally. So it's, vetting, got a clientele, our hour. Stockings, we'll start off with the stockings, because, some people love stockings, fetishize about stockings. I don't know why, but
stockings are long,
and it's
socks.
a build-up too, right? They start off with the stockings,
and then I allow them to take the stockings off. Like, play with the feet. Got led to the massage the feet, massage my legs. Sometimes even get them to paint the toes. standing on faces. I stand on faces, stand on bodies, whole foot and mouth. Like the goal is to get both of my feet in your mouth. So it's like stuff like that.
Oh wow.
You know, rubbing it across their face, smothering them with my feet and stuff
they get
like
aroused with that.
Oh
like if
my
you see,
goodness.
and a lot of times, like you'll see the
You guys are the best
erections,
guys.
you'll see the.
They have to go
Big
check
shout out
themselves
to
in the
feet guys
restroom.
right now. Like
It's just the feet. Like it's just the feet, and I'm
just feet.
comfortable with just the feet. Like, you know, well, obviously more, but I'm comfortable with just the feet because this is the session that we have this for. Doesn't matter if I'm black, white, it doesn't matter. This is what you're comfortable with, and I'm gonna make sure you're comfortable being able to do what you do with this. If it's feet, and then we did ass worshiping, and so I smothered him with my butt. In all positions, and
You over there like,
yeah. So
I'm, like,
she's a
living
familiar.
through her. I'm like,
She's familiar.
Yes, boo.
Now, can I
Yes.
ask, how much would that be, like, per hour? Like, what is the range so people know you can book them?
Yeah.
For
Yes,
a
yes,
goddamn
yes.
session.
Yes. Link in my bio. I have my website open. I am a fantasy. I do sessions for boxing and wrestling, and obviously my pro doming stuff. So that whole list is in there. It would run about an hour, 300 to 300 and up, kind of starting of a minimum.
When you so you said boxing and wrestling, like, is that sensual too? With that, or is it you actually
some
boxing?
some folks is
some people like violence.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
some
little
of us
intense.
are traumatized, and we like violence.
and you know, and I'm safely, consensually, you know, taking care of that for us.
That's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about, because with BDSM, you know, people, it's not it's all about consent. Like things that you may see in you know, people be in monogamous relationships and get violated all the time, but never in a BDSM session, because consent and all of that is the key. Let's talk about that. Like, how does consent work? How does all of that work with BDSM?
Consent is absolutely everything.
Yes.
It's everything.
Yes.
It's from, consent is from like me responding to your message, to like scheduling an appointment, to me even asking you what kind of things you like. Like consent is absolutely everything in our world. Everyone likes to think that BDSM world in our community is completely lawless and it's just like the Wild Wild West. You do whatever you want out here, and that is definitely not the case, because consent rules everything. Yes. Even down to what's it called, C&C?
Yes, correct.
Consensual, non-consensual.
Yes.
Like
yes.
That's
it is
even
a
like
contract agreement, because at any
So
point,
it's like 50 Shades of Grey type of.
we're not even talking about
Talk
that.
about Shades of Grey. That was a hot mess.
But people, like, because people
Lower
that
level.
are not in our world
Correct.
don't understand.
it's an entry
like,
level.
It's an entry level. Even though that was some fuck shit, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
go
like,
about it,
if
right.
you really want to know some BDSM,
Read a book.
And
Read a book.
Rice.
Listen to a podcast.
BDSM
Don't
101.
watch porn.
Yeah.
Do not watch porn to learn about BDSM.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. Talk to
comfortable.
somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Google.
But you know,
Dominatrix
sometimes
is on
porn
Twitter.
will, when it comes to porn and learning about sex and all of that stuff, I think, you know, that's why we have to give better quality porn. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And better representation. Like I told you, I was listening to a gentleman who had cerebral palsy. He didn't plan to be a sex worker on film, but he did it because he wanted to see other people that looked like him.
Right. Awesome.
And so we have to make better porn, because we already know that it's easy, it's accessible, and people are using porn to learn about it. So if they do, so if you do go and learn about porn, you watch BDSM on porn, then go find someone who can properly teach you the right way of BDSM. Don't
And
try to
ask
do it
questions.
yourself off of the damn video.
Don't be ashamed, man.
Yeah, ask
Do
questions.
a Google search. Reach
Please
out to
ask
someone.
questions.
If you have to DM 1,000 DOMs on Twitter, like, hey,
They
I
will
have questions.
they
Someone
reply.
will respond to you.
Yeah.
There are DOMs that are super toxic and that are only out here for the money and only care about draining you for every penny that you have.
Right.
But at the same time, there are the same amount of DOMs in this world that care about you and that want you to grow and be a responsible adult. And if you just say, hey,
Stronger
I'm
community.
trying, I have questions.
We have 2 right here.
Stronger community.
I want help.
Exactly. Come ask questions.
All we have is each other.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so a lot of us understand, you know?
Yes.
Pew, 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 pew. So you guys heard that. If you have questions, if you're curious, first get your ticket because they'll be at our Sex
we will be
Expo.
there.
And if you get the VIP, they'll be there Friday for our meet and greet because
You
I'm
get
with
to
our
take
sex lab. So you can take
and
pictures.
hang out and all
And
kinds of
so,
stuff.
but that's the whole purpose of this is to, you know, bring us all together and
Right.
people who have their curiosities, but leave your judgment at the door.
Yeah, don't be
Yes.
bringing that judgment over here, man.
Oh, goodness,
But
no, because you will get checked.
Right.
Yes.
And you can absolutely, you know what I'm saying, come and see people that look like you and just be amazed. And I'm telling you, this is the
We're
first,
so
but it's not the
excited.
last.
Like when I tell you that when I met Sir, I'm talking about Sir
That's awesome.
Marvelous. When I met Sir and his beautiful unicorn, Siphon smelled like delicious sunshine and rainbows. I swear to God, I was so nervous to meet them. They were just normal people.
regular
Yes.
everyday
They
people.
were
That's
just
what
normal.
I
They
think.
were just normal.
Right.
They were getting coffee and tea.
Yes.
And
This
I
is
was
what
like,
I do. It's not who I am. Even though a little bit of who it
and so
becomes
I
a
was
little bit
just,
of
and
who
I
you are.
walked up to them and I was like, hi. And they were like,
Aw.
hi.
You're so sweet
I
and
get
cute
that.
And
too.
so
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
and Siphon, she gave me the biggest hug. And then I told them about what we were doing. And they were like, oh, that's you. So I'm like, oh, you pay attention.
Yay.
So yeah, no, seriously, and Sir like immediately said yes. Him and Siphon were like, absolutely.
And we love for you to
And
meet them too.
man,
because they're,
like,
you
we
know,
can't
to
wait.
to
Like,
expand your
he's
world,
he's
too,
absolutely
'cause they doing the
fucking
damn thing in
amazing.
New
I
York.
can't wait
I'm
for
excited.
what they're about to do.
I have
Like we told
questions.
them, we told them like you have full autonomy on stage. Like seriously.
They're gonna do a
about
whole
to do
show with fire.
whole
He does
fucking-
fire play.
Yeah, that's what he's known
Ooh.
for.
He's
is
known-
fire play.
That's
I might
all
have
that
to.
she
Yeah,
I know,
he's
right?
known for fire
Right.
play.
Come
So
on.
he's bringing Siphon the Unicorn, that's his sub, and his
Yes.
partner. They're partners
Oh,
too.
yay. Perfect.
And he does a whole show. He's gonna put her and do a whole show.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
So,
amazing. I might want to try to get
man,
up.
when I tell you,
Volunteer.
Yeah, he is.
Hey,
Yeah,
he'll tell you,
volunteers tribute.
you can volunteer as tribute.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he is going to, he said part of the contract too is that he's going to be able, bring some people on stage
Perfect.
and he'll do
That's right up
some
your alley,
do
boo. You
little
got that
sessions with them.
100%. Put her name on the list.
I'm
Get
on
her
it.
first in line.
Put a
I'm
star.
looking for the rope artist, okay, for the shibari,
Right.
for the riggers.
Yeah.
You can meet me and hit me up at any point in time.
Yeah.
Because I will be rope and ready.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
So let's talk about that with the rope and rigging, because I know you say you're a self rigger, and I know you said that you have to have somebody to do that. How difficult is that in shibari and doing the
It's a
rigging?
lot of knots.
Yeah, you do the knots, don't you? You
Yeah,
tie.
She
yeah.
said she's
What's
self rigging.
It's different.
Listen, she's a beast right here. This one over here.
So from decorative tie looking pretty
Mm-hmm.
is way different from being off the ground. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to have so many knots to make sure you're not slipping. Is very safe of, with your organs, with your nerves. It's very, speak up if you have health problems. Speak up
Wow.
if you're damaged on any knees, any arms. Speak up on
Oh,
these
so I
things.
can't do that because my knees is tore up.
But
No,
we can
I
work with
said
the
that you
different
can.
ties.
Okay.
So it's the
Okay.
communication and it's the consent of the
'cause I was like,
safeness.
man,
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah.
I want a little tie.
It's kind of like the same rule as your doctor, right? You
Yeah.
tell your
Yes.
doctor absolutely everything, even
If
about
it-
your drug or sex use. You tell your rigger everything.
If your
because
fingers are
it
getting
could
numb,
be your life.
Exactly. Just because it's pretty doesn't mean anything. If it's numb, rearrange it, do something different. So
It's not a moment to be a people pleaser. Like
Right.
rigging
Yes.
and people pleasing is really dangerous because like people pleasers are like, I don't want to give up.
You
Please,
have
please
to
tell your
say-
rigger that you're hurting. Like
Yes.
please say you can't
Stay
feel my
aware.
fingers. I'm numb. Like
Stay
this
aware.
hurts. Open your mouth. It's
that
really
basically,
important.
that's basically what transitioned me from just being tied up to me tying my own self
Mm-hmm.
and me tying other people type of situation. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
all different dynamics of, my trust and
Yeah.
their trust also in the rope.
Want to keep in touch with us and what we have going on? Visit our website at omgoddesses.com and join our VIP list. Check out our upcoming events. Need to add to your spicy bag? Well, click on Shop Bedroom Candy for the top of the line bath and body products makeup, and bedroom accessories. Consider booking us for a fun, sexy, and educational show with your circle. We won't disappoint.
You know what?
So do you, I have one quick question. Are you guys going to teach, have you ever thought about teaching classes on
That's what I was literally about to say. You already said big shout out to Matthew Strong, Torch USMC. He does do the Shibari classes with Irish Spike's place now, right? Because he gotten so big. So
correct.
Wait, where's that place at?
It's somewhere in downtown Phoenix, 7th and something.
Yeah, but he posts the classes, I think, on FetLife.
Yes.
He can definitely give you the information if anyone is interested in learning about,
FetLife.
I'm on there, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, you gotta add us. Kinky Kirra 221.
Okay, I need help with FetLife.
But definitely go to his classes. His classes are amazing. Bring your partner.
Yes.
Open.
It is a partner base.
It's a partner based class and it's a donation based class. So definitely go out there and support. Be around people that will love you and will fully complete newbies that don't know anything, fully advanced people that are here to support you. Like it's a big community.
You'll see me in there.
And we're all there for the same reason, which is the love of the rope. So definitely go learn some knots, learn some suspensions, learn some deco ties.
Get creative, have fun.
Yeah, thanks for sharing
open
that.
up some boxes.
I think, you know what I'm gonna tell you. So again, like couples, I think this would be a fun thing for couples if they want to learn something.
But I'm not a couple.
So
look, I'll be your partner too. I come with you. We'll be partners.
You just bring your partner.
I'm your life partner. I'm your business life partner.
See, there you go. Y'all gonna learn something.
I want to say this too, and this is my thing that I want to say. I found that I enjoy being around, just people that are not in the vanilla world.
Right.
Yes.
Because the love is so
different,
amazing, and it's so non-judgmental.
Yeah.
You can speak about whatever you want to speak to, and nobody's judging you. Yeah, I'm telling you, it gets to the point where you just be like, I don't even know if I want to be around vanilla people anymore. But I just had to share that.
I'm hating them
because it's doing this. When I first started doing this business, I got a lot of flack from the church community. So because I was heavy in the church at the time, and so I was teeter-tottering for 3 years before I fully decided, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
So I got a lot of flack. And now I'm like, this is the best decision I could have ever made because I met my business partner. We are doing mission work and creating safe spaces for Black and Indigenous and Latino and POCs all over the country. People are DMing us. There's somebody that I've been following for the past 3 or 4 years now. He's in the UK, and he reached out and was like, what the fuck are y'all doing in Phoenix, bro? This shit is legendary. This is when I tell you this expo is something that we're making history. I don't want to cry. I'm not trying to cry right now, but we're making history.
Yes.
And so this is something that is very, very important. And so that's why we're constantly telling y'all, get your tickets, bro, because these people need support. These two queens right here that are sitting next to me need your love and support. Support them, support what they are doing, because this is important. And everybody that's going to be vendors are all Black and brown people. So support their small businesses. When I tell you that we got people from all over asking, I was on the phone with another BK sister for 3 hours. And she was mad because she was like, I thought this was going to be in New York. And I was like, no, baby Kate, this is going to be in Phoenix.
You better get your ticket, girl.
I said, you better catch a flight.
For real, though.
And get your ticket.
Down. And it's nice down here this time of year. You don't
that's why we're doing it when we're doing it.
That's why we were very intentional of doing it when it was still nice weather out. It wasn't going to be sweltering heat and anything. We were very intentional. We
make sure it was after Super Bowl. So it's the weekend after Super Bowl, but it's still in the month. It's in the month. It's in Black History Month.
Right.
And it's also
awesome.
during the
Mardi
it's during
Gras
Mardi Gras. So the
celebration.
theme is going to be all around Mardi Gras.
Yep.
We're going to have a sexy masquerade party,
Yep.
y'all.
So wear
And
your
you don't know what you
purple,
might
and
see.
gold
Yes.
for this party.
It's gonna be hot. It's
If
gonna
you
be
don't
hot.
flash your
It's gonna be
titties,
so
you're
much
not gonna get these
fun.
beads.
Mm.
Okay? Because we gonna have beads
Yes.
for your ass, and the more beads you get, you just might want to
just gonna
cry.
show
Oh,
up.
yeah, we're gonna have,
I'm
we
in
gonna
here
have a lot
then.
of fun. We're gonna have a lot of
I'm
fun.
in
I'm
here.
really
Yeah.
I'm really excited. But in addition to having fun, we're gonna learn. We're gonna
Yeah.
learn. We're gonna share. We're gonna grow. We're gonna commune. This is a
And
collective.
network. This is a
We're gonna
networking
network.
event as well.
And the thing is, because what I've noticed is that, and I'm sure probably y'all, we're scattered. Like y'all,
Yes.
you know, it's like,
Right.
I didn't know this person did this over here and this person did that over there. And so our goal is to bring all of that together. So if you
Yes.
ever looking for someone there, you know what I'm saying?
Connect.
You know where to go to
Understand.
find your tribe,
Yeah.
to find your tribe. And
Because we're,
and
we're
and black
10%
people are
of
not
the
a monolith.
Right. No, we're 10% of the population out here. And so everybody's scattered. All the black folks are scattered. I'd be like, and it's like we're literally like connected like 2 degrees of separation out here.
Right.
So it's important that we all get together as one and just realize that we all have sex and we all do it and it's fun and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we've gotten some pushback
Yeah.
from them niggas. I can't, like,
Yeah.
I swear, like, I swear, because
It
I'm
don't
not
matter. When you passionate about something,
right, because
it's gonna happen. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Come hook or crook. But we are taking we need sponsors and we're
Yep.
taking donations. So even if you're individuals or whatever, if you are like, you hear what we talking about, you like, listen, this has got to happen,
Right.
hook or crook.
Donate.
You know, reach out to us, text, sponsor, or text, donate to 602-900-1338.
period.
Now let's go back to y'all. Okay. What do you think about what I said about your community? Like just the whole, you know, kink community and sex worker community and all that stuff. Like, how do you feel about that community and including the black community within that larger community?
You know what? I really love our community because if it wasn't for our community, like even you, right? We met at a photo shoot event, totally off the wall. And then now we just occasionally run into each other.
And we're to die for.
Like every single time.
It's
every
so
single time.
lovely.
I look over, I look across the room, like, oh my God, is that Kirra? Oh my God, she's here.
It's me. It's amazing. It's really amazing, the connection.
It's so wide and it's so vast. And
Yes.
like, there's so many different people and there's so many different outlets. And it feels like we're stretched thin, but like, it's constantly growing.
We are
Constantly
growing. We need more people to, you know, come on and not be scared.
Right.
Come join the community.
I think the initial thing with black folks in kink in general is that they think that it's for white people because that's what they normally see.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, because we went to a gala. I know we fancy and everything. We went to a gala on Friday for shout outs to our CPA, amazing CPA, Adrienne Trish. And she did an amazing job with her gala. And we were talking to 2 young gentlemen about our expo. And one of them instantly piped up and was like, I'm not going to that. I'm married. I'm like,
bring your
sir,
wife
You really
then.
should go to that.
You
I'm
and
like,
your wife
you're
should
the
come.
first one that should be buying your tickets, bro. You are married and you talking about you don't need this.
Yes.
No.
You need your
And so
couple.
the other
Person
brother,
needs it.
we were talking to him and, you know, we were telling him, you know, all the acts that were coming. And as soon as we said BDSM, he instantly was like, oh, that ain't for me. I'm like, how
It
do
makes
you know
people
it's for you?
uncomfortable.
How do you know?
It makes them
Right.
uncomfortable.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think if they come, like I said, bring your curiosity.
Yes.
They come and they learn about it and then they see too. Like, I think they feel like it's a circus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everybody looks,
Orgies and
you know, or
crazy
everybody
hints
looks a
and-
certain way and stuff.
Right.
And we're everyday people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You have
We're everyday
families, you
people.
have
Right.
lives.
Right.
This is what you do. It's not 100% of who you are.
Right.
right.
And
Well, I think it's
yeah.
interesting because when people like hear the word or they hear BDSM,
Yeah.
right? Or when they hear the terms, oh, I'm going to go to a swinger party, like
Right.
they immediately have like this notion in their head that it's like Or even when I tell people like, "Yo, I'm a dominatrix. Like, I have a dominatrix background." They're like, "Oh my god, leather whip chains.
Yeah,
she's gonna break my back and she's gonna bust my balls and
automatic.
she's gonna hurt me."
You
I'm
just
like,
might
bro,
bust your balls.
you might see how fucking adorable I am right now.
Right.
First of all,
Which leads me to another
I
question.
want to cuddle. Can we like?
Right, which leads me to another question. Dating. How does this lifestyle affect your dating life?
Oh God.
My partners are troopers. Yeah, I identify as poly. So I have many of my partners, and my partners, they're okay with it. I met one of my partners in the community as one of my subs, and we kind of just hit it off from there. Oh wow. You know, and not even sub anymore. We're like, yeah, we like each other now. All right, we're doing this.
That's so great.
So, do you feel like you have to find people in the community really to date, to more understand you more, or is it more difficult to find people in the vanilla world and date them? I'm asexual, so honestly, whatever finds me and floats the boat, it floats the boat.
So you're in that
here floating on a cloud.
Are you
lucky?
No, she said asexual.
Asexual.
And we definitely will have to have you back on talking about asexuality, because I'm so intrigued by that. Someone brought that to me at a young age, and I learned about it, and I was like, wow. And then I just listened to a podcast about it. So we definitely have to have you on about that.
Yes. I'm proudly accepting and really fitting myself and my lifestyle into it. And my partners fully accept and understand that also.
Isn't that crazy though, that you can be asexual and still do kink and still want to feel sexy and beautiful? It has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, you wanting to actually have sex.
I don't need to have sex to interact with an individual being.
So we definitely are going to have you back on to talk about that, because people need to understand what asexuality is, and that you can still want to feel sexy and beautiful.
Yes, correct.
That has nothing to do with you having sex.
No, correct. No. That's awesome. It's alternatives also.
Yeah. What about you and dating?
Dating is an adventure. Because like, okay, so here's the thing, right? So I'm like, cause I'm divorced, right? So I'm actively dating people. And then I'm very open about who I am, that I'm a model, that I'm in the community, that I go to these types of events, that I do these types of things. And not a lot of people can handle that information.
No, so a lot of people can't.
And so, and then when it comes down to like when people find out like, oh, like when I drop the fact that I have slaves, like I have a slave that I own on paper, like in Canada, and like all his properties are my properties, and so they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, that means that I own this individual, and I've owned this individual for a very long time, and our relationship is never gonna. You have to be okay with the fact that I own them, because I'm not gonna completely sever off, this person that I have a totally different relationship bond with, based off of something else. I'm not just gonna cut them off because of your insecurities. Like, no, you have to be okay with the fact that, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend, and then this is my girlfriend's pets. Like,
no, exactly.
So like, it takes a certain type of person to like be okay with that idea. So like, even though a lot of guys, so even though a lot of guys like sexualize me, and they're like, oh, she's a model, and she's a gamer, and she's so cool, and she's so sexy, and she's a freak, and she knows all these things. Like, I have all this education, and I'm so comfortable with myself, and I'm so confident in myself, and I have like this whole castle behind me. You can't just be some like basic guy.
Right. You can't be insecure.
You're either going to be insecure. You're either going to like, either I'm going to hurt your feelings because I have an attitude, because I have like my own like kingdom that I'm running around. I'm a whole ass brat. Like, I'm independent. I'm bratty. I'm like, I have my standards high. Like, you cannot easily impress me. But at the same time, like, like, I'm not after you for just your money.
Yeah.
You at least know,
I make
like,
my own shit.
I have my own.
You at least know, like, if I want to be with you and I'm choosing to be with you, you know that it's because I literally want to be with you. But a lot of guys can't handle, like, the competition. They can't handle the idea of, like, oh my God, she's had so much sex with so much people. Like, how do I stack up with that? Or the fact that, like, I could be, like, deuces, boy, bye. I'm going to Canada. I don't even care about, like, what you say. Like, so it's really hard. It's really hard to date, because I have to have someone that's comfortable with themselves, comfortable with their emotions, knows how to communicate, knows how kink works, because
Yeah.
I like to have sex. I don't have the fortunate ability of being asexual. I like to have sex. And I like to have a lot of sex. So like, if you can't meet my sexual like standards, bro, like, can I call my other boyfriend?
I got a question for you, because we talked about it offline before. Pegging.
Oh God.
I just quickly want to talk about that, because especially in the Black community, men, you know, they get so let's talk about what kind of client would be interested in pegging. Is it like these stereotypes about that, and you know, and what is pegging, and then why would a client be interested in that?
Yeah, totally. So pegging essentially is just anal sex. Like, let's just say what it is. It's anal sex.
Yeah.
And
but anal sex, how?
It's anal sex with the female being on top, with the female penetrating the male, right?
Right.
So it's an act of sex as any other, and then it has it has its dominant submissive like positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the men that really like pegging are men that want to be submissive and that want to be in that submissive, you know, stance. And that
also they're
submissive
strong-minded, because it not for the weak, honestly.
It's not.
We're gonna learn about, Kinky Kirra over here. My hard limit, that's what we call it, is anal. I don't do anal. I don't do any of that. That's not my gist.
Mm-hmm.
Before, after, in the industry, I don't do it. But pegging, it is something of a factor that I'm all like,
different.
all right, like it is a massage of the
Right.
the inner side of the male. If it's, a famous boxer, because I, peg people also, from professional athlete boxers that know their sexuality and they know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But they sometimes do once in a while would get pegged, not saying like, oh, I get pegged, oh, I enjoy pegging, blah, blah, blah. But it's some endorphins that they actually connect to that makes them feel even more better doing sports, not doing sports, interacting with other people, type of vibe. And then it goes to the sissifying and the other subs that is just like, oh no, I am going to take this for an object and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, exploring their sexuality.
Right.
They don't really know type of vibe. So,
because a lot of people people want to make the act be, whether that's, define your sexuality. Whereas if you're a woman and a man having sex, then how does that make you gay? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's
what I'm saying.
Like, it comes down to
I'm a woman, you're a man. Like, this is not homosexual.
Well, because it comes down to the stigma, right? So men have this like mental stigma, which is placed on them from the day they're born in society, especially older men. And so it's a lot of courage to bring up to even that conversation, right? Like, even to bring up to your partner, like, I think I want to try this is such a hard conversation to have, right? So to even bring it up, like, you have to be comfortable in yourself, right? You have to be like, yeah, this is what I'm feeling, like, and even like I tried it out a little bit myself, like you have to be like,
you still have to
just own it.
The stigma of just men being comfortable with toys.
Like
there's layers to this. Like, I'm telling you, like, men still have issues when it comes to even just sex toys, because they feeling, just we don't need that. I'm like, no, but you do. You do need that. And it's not a competition. Like, this inanimate object is not in competition with you, bro. Like, it's not like taking away your manhood. It's not taking away anything from our experience together. It's enhancing the experience.
Right. And I'm sure the same thing with that. Just if a person, feels that way. And then people don't understand that the prostate is like that's the, you know what I'm saying? That's
the G spot.
That's the G spot for men. And I had a friend who he was in a really bad car accident, and he said that, for his therapy, he has to massage his prostate. He was totally against that, but he said it helps. You know what I'm saying? With the healing process. So a lot of people, it's like really helping people understand and get over that stigma.
Right.
I have one other question for you.
Okay.
The daddy dom. let's talk about you too, Kirra. You could definitely come in, chime in on that, because you know, everybody, this is not like child pornography. These are consenting adults.
Right.
So let's kind of talk about that dynamic, because I think that's what we're going to talk about too.
Yeah.
The event. So let's talk about the daddy dom.
So I specialize, like, one of my favorite plays is age play. I like to say the ddlg plus aspect of it, because it goes down to like daddy dom little girl, which is the ddlg, and then like there's different verbiage for both sides of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So overall it's just age play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Age play is a very therapeutic way, I want to say, of just like being, it's like one of the more like softer plays of BDSM.
Yes.
Because when people think about BDSM, they don't really think that age play and pet play are involved in those things.
Yeah.
But they are, and it's more of the affectionate, sensual role plays that exist. And what I find really fascinating, especially in 2023, as communities have evolved, especially with the like millennial and Gen Z and stuff like that, or Gen X, or whatever coming up, that it started out as a role play that has now developed into this total lifestyle.
Yes.
That has its own like
category,
has its own bubble like inside of the community. Like you have the BDSM community, and then you have like your doms, and you have your subs, and then you have your ages.
Mommy, yes.
Like it's really interesting, like how it's broken down, and it's become its own community. And you know, daddy doms, we all love that. We all love our daddy doms.
Yes.
And we all love our mommy doms too.
I love
like,
how does that
doms.
dynamic work? Like, what happens in that? What's some examples of what
So,
happens in that?
The best way that I
dynamic?
can describe it is that it's a dominant and submissive relationship, in which the submissive is essentially in a mental regression. And the mental regression, mostly from what I've seen through my research, the mental regression usually reflects the time that they felt the most safe in their life. So that can be either young children, that could be middle teenagers, that could even be like 18, 19 years old, right? And even the dominants, daddies, mommies are essentially caregivers.
Yes.
So it's the role of like, I love you, I care for you, I will always be here for you. And at the same time, the little is looking at their dominant with, this person will always be here for me, I will always be taken care of, I love them, I never want them to be stressed out. There's an equal responsibility for both parts.
Exactly.
Dominants and submissives have equal responsibilities in any dynamic or any relationship. But this particular lifestyle has really taken on its own lifestyle, which I think is so interesting. Like it has role plays, and it has aspects, and it has like actual roles, and it has guidelines and rules and its own like stipulations, and it has its own toxicities that have even come out of it too, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything you want to add to that?
I classify as like also a switch in this community. So I am a dom, and I can be a submissive at the earlier times, because you know I have to experience both of the sides. Right. At my earlier times being a submissive, I did experience a daddy dom. I don't have daddy issues, but I got mommy issues. So it kind of like helped me kind of not brat out, or kind of become more of an adult, quotation, if you can say that, in my own mindset, because I was able to express who I wanted to be at that age, and have that daddy dom make sure I am able to go through that age correctly safe, if that makes sense.
Got you. So it's very therapeutic.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but it is guidelines, and it is a lot of stuff that you have to like do, and make sure you are consensually like, communicating also. Yeah. But definitely it's a lot of different niches and different communities.
You could cause damage more if you don't know how to properly do it.
Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
why
it's become
both.
Its own. It has its own it has its own predators now, in a sense of like, this has started out as something that was just like, oh, we're gonna role play a little bit in the bedroom, and you're gonna call me daddy. And now it's become like this whole like, wow, I really depend on this person. And there have been predators in a sense of like, I'm gonna take you, and you're gonna call me sir, and you're gonna do this, that, and you're gonna do whatever I tell you to do. Like,
So if someone wanted to properly, like, say for instance, I wanted to experience the you know, because I want to go through like what you were saying. Is that something that you guys consult on, or is there someone that you guys recommend in terms of
definitely
consulting on that, or finding the right person, the right daddy dom?
Finding the right person is the most important part. But honestly, it takes a long time. Don't ever be in a rush to find your dominant, because when you're in a rush to find your dominant, you will get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
That's just
you'll just be blindsided.
That's just plain. You'll traumatize yourself more, and you'll find yourself to be in a worse position.
Are there questions that people should ask? Like, should you have a questionnaire?
Definitely.
Specific questions. Like, where do you find that?
Honestly, here's what I can tell you. To really decide if you're going to be like in age play, and if age play is really good for you, take some time to really be alone with yourself.
Yes.
And really look internal and find that inner child that has been lost.
Yeah.
And there are people that are like, well, I have a healthy relationship. I don't have no inner child. Well, maybe age play isn't for you. That's not for you. That's like, it's not for you. Right. Age play and mental regression is specifically for submissives who are tired of the world. The world is scary. The world is hard. Yeah. It's difficult out here. Yes. And a lot of us feel alone. And for age play, it's a way for us to feel safe outside of someone that is, you know, maybe our parents abused us. Maybe we don't have a safe place to be. Maybe we don't have a community that we feel that we can go to for anything, you know?
Or maybe not even abuse. A lot of times you might feel like you never could express yourself. Really, you were meeting certain expectations.
That was me.
Right. Yeah, you know, it's like there were so many expectations put upon you that you could not be that child at that age. Right. So now you need to go back and kind of go through that, like you said, and heal. And it was almost like a sense of therapy.
Yeah. So take that time for yourself. And then when you have that, you know, that knowledge of your inner self, don't go out and say, I'm out here looking for a daddy dog. Yeah, you're going to get caught up by some sharks. Someone's going to eat you. Okay.
Yeah. I love to, like with the man sandwich, I call him daddy.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit, you know, cause I be acting a little, you know, bratty with them. But I do like to call my partner's daddy. That's something that I do like, and I do that often. So you're absolutely correct in that. Yeah. Like when I do that, it's like this little kind of little girl inside of me.
It's like, that's my daddy. He's gonna keep me safe. And I know that he's got my back. And I know that no matter what, daddy's gonna make sure that I'm okay. And there's a safety and there's a security that comes in that. Yeah. And there's a confidence that comes with that. But where you have to really protect yourself is don't go out on the internet and be like, I'm looking for a mommy dom. I'm looking for a daddy dom. You're going to get taken advantage of. Someone's gonna eat you. You don't want to put yourself in that position.
Yeah. So what's the best way to do it?
Be honest about who you are. Be honest with yourself, and be honest with the people that you're talking to.
Yes.
You know? Right. So when you are actively dating someone, tell them, like, you know, hey, the best way I like to bring it up is, do you like to role play? That's the best question I like to ask. Do you like to role play? Okay, well, what kind of role plays do you like? And most guys are like, oh, well, I like it when my girls call me daddy.
See, and this is something also for a dom or a mommy to conversate or have a questionnaire for that person. So if you think that you know who you are and you're going to approach someone as, you know, experienced non-levels and stuff and be like, oh, I like this and like, you know, like that, be prepared to actually get questionnaire back. Like, okay, I'm not going to work with you just because you say that.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you are correct on that.
Yeah. And I also just think it's important, like, when it comes to your little, when it comes to your inner little, and when it comes to your inner regression, whether that be a teenager, whether that be a child, you are still the adult for that child.
Yeah.
You are the first guard of protection for that inner child. If anyone that talks to you, if you don't like how they're talking to you, why would you give them that inner part of yourself that's the most vulnerable?
Right.
Because that's what your little is. It's the part of you that is the most vulnerable. It's the part of you that's the most scared. It's the part of you that needs the most protection. Don't give that part of you to someone if they already make your stomach uneasy. Don't accept people that talk to you disrespectfully. Don't accept people that are going to try to take control of you and they don't even know who you are.
Yes.
They don't even deserve to even meet your little if they make you uncomfortable. Yeah. You're an adult and your responsibility is to protect your inner child.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. I know we're going to be wrapping up soon. We're going to go to our spicy bag, and then we're going to come back to y'all. We're going to let y'all say your final, you know, what you want to say, something that you like, I wanted to say this. So think about that. And then we're going to and then we're going to have you share all of your social media and everything, because we want people to find you guys. It's like, you know, you have set yourself as the experts here in the Arizona area, or even anywhere else. You definitely need to reach out to these young ladies, because they know what they're talking about. But I'm gonna give the floor to my partner, Miss Kiki. She's going to talk about our
spicy bag today.
She's gonna talk about our spicy bag today.
We have 2 spicy bags today. And the reason why I picked these 2, number one, is because Bedroom Candy has some amazing bath and body products. So we're gonna start off with the bath and body, and this is one of our favorites, right? It is called Butter Me Up Island Joy, and it's absolutely fabulous. Give you a stick. Yep, I'm gonna give you a stick. Sanitary, sis. Here. Yeah. There you go. Oh, I'm gonna give you some. For you, my love. Welcome, niece.
Smells super good.
So good.
Isn't it?
Oh, and it's really soft too.
It is really soft.
Oh, I like it.
And you only need a little bit if you see, because you don't want to be like walking around greasy.
Right.
So a little bit goes a long way.
Right.
It is
Moist up my tattoo.
Isn't it great?
So one of the things that we like about Bedroom Candy is that Candy Burris, who is the founder. So a lot of people have asked us why we don't sell. You know, why don't you sell your own products? First of all, we're not going to go on Wish or Amazon or China and try to, you know, buy, you know, get some products, bulk them and sell them. We care about y'all so much that we want high quality products. So the only people we rock with is the Black owned company, Candy Burris. But she curates
to Bedroom Candy.
Yes.
Put some bombs on
Gotta love
Yes.
Bedroom Candy.
Yes. I mean,
all of that. So what I love about them is they really curate their products. They don't just throw stuff out. Our Butter Me Up, let me see this.
Here you go.
Because I want to show it. So our Butter Me Up, this is actually it's infused with shea butter.
Yes.
And the shea butter is actually made in Ghana. A village of women create the shea butter. So I love the partnerships that Bedroom Candy makes to help the community. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the other bath and body products we have, one, our bestseller is hot cakes, and we'll talk about that in our spicy bag at another time. That's a Black woman who created that. And instead of Candy saying, okay, well, we'll just duplicate it. Instead, it was already made and wonderful and a great seller. She just partnered with her, and then it catapulted this woman's business to another level because she partnered with Bedroom Candy, and it's so many of us as consultants that are selling it, and it's such a great seller. So just know that when you do use Bedroom Candy products, you are using, you know, these have they're high quality. A lot of them are vegan ingredients. So very high quality products. They have a shelf life of about a year. So you want to use, but you're not going to have it that long. You're going to use it all the time, but a little bit goes a long way.
As you can see,
and I got a quick story.
I gave y'all just a little bit,
right? Just a little bit.
Look at your hands, like
so
seriously,
shiny.
right?
Yeah. We have a gentleman who's a plumber.
He
buys the
we just saw him at the gala.
Yeah, we saw him at the gala. So he constantly buys them. He's a plumber, and you know, in Arizona the water is hard. It's harsh water, and he said it's the only body butter or butter that helps to keep his hands
not over this scent, but over our male body butter called Head to Toe Bomb,
which I use myself.
It's in the car. I'll let y'all smell it before y'all go.
Yeah,
it is one of our top sellers, y'all. Like when I tell you I can't keep this, when I do vendor events and things like that, that's what people fight over is who's gonna get it, because it's like
first
our
come, first
bath and
served.
body stuff, and we have curated products for all uses. So from literally from head all the way to toe, we have shampoo, conditioner, body washes, body butters, things that are going to be nourishing for the skin, especially for melanated people. Candy really curates that and really focus in on making sure that everything is high quality. We went to another sex shop out here. We won't say the name, but they were using from another company, and we talked about this. I don't want something that says coochie wash on the packaging. I'm just not. I don't want no coochie wash.
Our packaging is really really amazing.
Men will come by and be like, I love the packaging.
And then of course then we put the arrows head to toe on them, and then they buy it.
Right.
Yes. We love men because they don't even think about it. If they like it, they buy it quickly. So we absolutely love it. But so that's our bath and body products, and now we're gonna move on to our.
I picked this toy for a couple of different reasons. One, it doesn't look like a toy.
It looks like a little compact.
That's so cute. It's just the adorablest thing ever, and this is actually one of the first toys that Candy developed with her and her business partners. Shout outs to Brian and Suki Dunham. Get some amazing sex toy developers, and they came up with this particular toy. I'm gonna let y'all feel it, because again, bedroom candy really, you feel it, and that's only on the first.
That's on the first one, but did you see she had to hold it down for 3 seconds? So if you have kids or anything like that, you don't have to worry about. So think about, you can incorporate this in your BDSM if you wanted to in your sessions.
Yes,
I know. Yeah. This is awesome.
And so you can rub it. Put a little. You can put like a little lube on it, to give it a little.
or you
can put actually some body oil. You can put some massage oil on it and rub it on a person's body. But it's so many different ways that you can use that. You can use it on your cheek when you're giving oral sex to give a different dynamic. You can rub your partner's back. It's really great for. It's really great for two people with vaginas or vulvas. They can rub, like, you can put that in between, and it's gonna give a sensation to both of the clitoris. Is great for scissoring. And then you got the little mirror, so if you're also doing, pleasing yourself, you can look. Give me past it here.
Listen,
making me extra sexy. Extra
right now. It's like, oh my goodness.
There's so many things that you can do.
Look
with
at
this one.
you can look. You can look at yourself in the mirror and see how you, I'm gonna like to look at my faces when I orgasm, what I'm saying. And it's USB chargeable. So
all of our toys, except for I think maybe two, I think like 2 or 3 are battery operated, but the rest of our toy line is completely USB chargeable.
Yep, and to turn it off, so to turn it up to the different sensations. So you have 3 speeds and 4 pulsations, and then so that's the plus sign. And then if you use the you push the minus sign, hold it down for 3 seconds,
and it turns right off.
And it turns off. And the cool thing about that is that you have to hold it down for 3 seconds. So if you have kids or something, they come in first, they can sit on there, they won't even know what it is.
Right.
And then secondly, if they're trying to turn it on, they have to know how to turn it on. So it's almost like a little safety measure.
This is perfect for travel as well, because TSA is not going to clock you.
They're not.
For, having this. Like, they're not gonna know. They're gonna think that this is part of your makeup case. So bedroom, like when I tell you, they really
send me the link right now. Please.
I'll
get one. Actually, you know what? Here,
you can go to omgoddesses.com and then click on Shop Bedroom Candy, and it'll take you to our site and place your order. But that lets you know too that we do host private naughty bingos.
Yes.
Ooh.
So like if you want to get a group of your friends together, we will actually come and we demo, but we also play bingo. And so There's a fee. People pay a fee, you know, to play the game, but all of the total amount that's collected, that is the prize. So we play 2 games, and then 2 people win. They split that amount that was collected. So if it's 10 people, we collect $25. That's $250. Then that's $125 shopping spree each. But whoever hosted also, you know what I'm saying, they get the benefit because we wouldn't have met these people otherwise. So they get prizes and stuff too. And then if you become on our G spot winner, meaning that your party, your sales get to over $1,000, then that's when all the real fun, cool stuff comes in. So definitely reach out to us if you want to book your own Naughty Bingo. We got a matter of fact, we had 2 people that wanted to do it on the same day, so we're gonna split it up. So Kiki's going to one, I'm going to one. I'm doing a bachelorette party, so they're great for bachelorette parties and everything too. But
that's fun.
Yeah,
but
I definitely want to go to more of your bingos this year.
Yeah, well, we're negotiating to do it quarterly. Where we're gonna do a quarterly one, but we'll also do private ones. So like even in you guys' community and stuff like that, if you guys want to get a group of friends together and we can do a kink party / bingo / whatever, we can make it.
You guys got to partner with Vec for something like that. I'm sure they would be really interested.
Partner with who?
With Vec PLC, the Black swingers community here in Arizona.
Okay, we've been trying to find the Black swingers community.
I gave you the website. And you were supposed to become a member and all that. So, look, the glow party is on the 17th, so you better become a member and get your tickets. You go to the Vec PLC. So
how do you spell Vec?
V as in Victor, ECPLC.com. Go right there. It is free to become a member, but VIP memberships, you get prizes, you get discounted ticket prices, and you get first
that's
the
Black one.
That is the people of color.
Gosh. Why are they not all over everywhere else when you Google
have given Kiki the information so many times.
Definitely I'm gonna have to look into that.
You have to definitely bring them up because the Black couple that owns it are beautiful and amazing. And
we've been
and their parties, the glow party on the 17th, girl, you better be there because it's about to be
It looks like we might be going to a glow party.
Yes, glow party.
Okay, so back to you guys.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Give me your phone and I'll pull it up on your phone before I forget. Because you know, if I leave out of here, I'll forget.
Okay, no problem.
And that's our spicy bag for today, y'all.
Yes. So we're gonna give you guys a platform right now. The floor. Each one of you to say whatever it is you want to say, and then tell everybody where they can follow you and find you. What they can find you for, like what you want them to reach out to you about, and we'll start with you.
Okay.
And then we'll start with you, Kinky.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter under Worship Shaylah, and that's Shaylah SHAYLAH. So Worship Shaylah, and you can reach out to me literally for anything. If you want to do a meetup and go on dates, I love to do shopping sprees. I am the brat princess of Arizona, so I'm a full-on ultimate switch. So that means that I do domination as well as submission side of things. So you can either hire me to be a dom, or you can hire me to be your sugar baby. Whatever floats your boat, you know. I like everything and anything and everything, both ways, all day.
All right.
And I'm also, a model, and I'm into the lifestyle community as well. So if you are, looking for a safe person to talk to ask questions about, to experiment, in the community, if you're just looking to have someone that will answer some questions for you because you don't really know what's going on and you just know you're having these feelings, I am 100% here for you. I promise. I'm probably like the most droll person you'll talk to in this community. Like, I'm so freaking nice. Like,
we are nice.
She's a sweetie pie.
I'm so freaking nice, but I'm 100% here for you. And I'm also a model, so book me for upcoming shoots. The summertime is about to come. It's probably about to start warming up. So so reach out to me, hit me up. I like to do body painting, shibari, anything that requires me getting messy or taking my clothes off. I'm there.
Yes. Yes.
All right, beautiful.
Us both.
All right.
Kinky Kirra over here. You can find me on Instagram, Kinky Kirra 221. It's 2 I's for the Kirra, so Kinky, and this KIIRA 221. My Twitter is Mistress Blaze. You can find me there. All of my content I update daily. If you have any questions, let me know. My inbox is open. I'm not for the suckers of the hi, how are you? Like, nah. If you have questions, let me know. I'm like a real human being. Like, you know what I'm doing. I'm busy. I'm working. Like, let's get to it.
Right.
I am a professional Dami. I am a professional fantasy wrestler boxer. So you can book me through my website, through any of my links. If you find me, Kirra Blaze, you can book me for there. Also through that, you can book me for sessions, pro dom. So I do from foot worshiping to, body worshiping to impacting to, take me out on a shopping spree. I'll be, the sugar baby and all of that.
I get all the
fantasy.
benefits, y'all.
Yeah.
I want a benefit package.
Yes, I am.
Wait a minute, I want to be a sugar baby.
Okay. You got a husband.
we are all right.
You can take us both. He'll be a sugar baby too.
It's a new world. It's a new day.
Yeah, but yeah, y'all can keep an eye out for Kinky Kirra. I'll be doing some burlesque for the Alwun House in February. So they are having an erotic art show. So
yeah, get your tickets to that. Go watch
I
her
just
shows.
found them, the Alwun House. Someone told me about that. I'm like, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Now
Kirra's burlesque shows. Y'all don't even know what y'all are missing.
I will
Y'all don't
set
even
you
know
on
what
fire.
y'all are missing, bro. Like,
you
it
got
is
anything coming up?
amazing.
You got anything coming up?
Honestly, 2023, I'm honestly really excited about the expo.
Yes, same
I'm
here.
excited about the expo.
I hope that listen,
Same.
this is what I want for y'all. We want for y'all.
Yeah.
When y'all come out there and do y'all thing, then people gonna be mad. Just we want to see you, we want to book you. They're gonna be following you, all of that stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
and then when we stream the highlights, like when we put the highlights up and stuff, then nationwide people are gonna be reaching out.
Cause y'all gonna be on road.
They're gonna be like, can you fly
Let's
in?
go.
I
do travel.
Do this event.
I do
That's
travel.
what I want for y'all. And you
do
meet
travel.
other people in this industry that you might
Kirra
not have known
travels. You gotta come see
that
me,
will
boo.
connect with you as well. Also,
Yes,
if you
I
guys
travel.
in your, share the flyers and stuff and let people know in
Yes,
your
most
world.
definitely.
Any photographers, everybody just have people come because they're gonna meet.
I have been inviting. It's funny because like it says Melanated Sex Expo.
Yes.
So like
We don't care.
It's been so interesting. So I'm like, oh, you should come to this, and I've had people be like,
I can't
am
come
I
to
allowed?
this. Yes.
Yeah, I know that
I
people
can't come
ask
to
that, but
this.
it's,
I'm like,
I mean, everybody
why don't
has
you just
sex.
come
I'm
and
like,
be
do you wanna
around
be
sexy,
educated
black,
about-
educated,
Right.
empowered,
I
loving?
think the problem because we were at this brunch spot yesterday passing out flowers, and one of the security guards, he's white, and the first thing he said was,
What is melanated?
He was like, what is melanin? I was like, black people,
People
of
He was
color.
like, brown people. He was like, oh, I can't come. And
I was
I'm
like, you
like,
absolutely
Mama,
can
you
come.
can. I'm like, you
Please
can come, bro.
come. Please
You
come.
can buy a ticket.
It's for people who love melanated people too.
Yes.
If you love melanated people,
Right.
you love our people, you like our
And you're
cause
for
to
us.
come. It's not.
it's just
It's
for
just gonna.
us.
It's right. It's just.
and I said,
It's creating a safe space for people like us so that they can come and see people that look like them in this world. That's really what it is.
White people
You don't
are
have
the
to be
center of
melanated to
attention.
come.
You know what? That's always
Right.
been the thing about melanated or just melanated people in general. We're not going to exclude you because you don't
We
have
not.
no melanin.
We
Right.
We
not.
want you to come. Please
no.
come
We
wanna
and
come,
learn
yeah.
some stuff because it's really not that scary. We
Yeah.
want you there.
Yes.
Please
But
come.
I think
Buy your tickets.
but I think the reason why a lot of people are having these issues is because white people have been the center for
Right,
so
for
long.
so long.
That was
And
a conversation.
So now that we're having these safe spaces and these conversations, and they're like, "Oh, well, y'all not about
Why
to
can't
center
it be-
us no?
Right.
Why y'all got? Why can't it be?
No,
Oh
it's-
no,
and
it's
no,
like,
or
oh,
you're
I had a
excluding
question.
us.
I had a
Yes.
question. It was like, well, why can't it be renamed? I'm like, well, why does it have to be mainstreamed and for somebody that always sees
Because
the same
everything else is
platform?
mainstream. This
Yeah.
is for us.
This is
And
for
we say
us.
melanated because we want our, we
Other
want the
people to
melanated
look.
people to
We
look
want
and be like,
melanated
oh,
people to know.
this is
This is
something for me.
It's not
Right.
going to be
Not
flaunted.
saying that
Right.
that people non-melanated people can't come,
No,
but
no,
This
come
the
is
on.
reason
for
why
melanated
we say
people.
that because we want people to feel like, oh my God,
It's
they
gonna be
feel
more
a sense
of
of
me here.
inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know that it's going to be tailored to them. But if you love the melanated people,
We gonna love
come
you
on
too.
out. We
Come on.
talking about
Love you
sex.
too.
Sex is sex.
Yes.
Okay. There might
Yes.
be some elements about the Black community, like when we talk about LGBTQ
Yes.
and
Talk about
allyship,
it.
because there's
Yes.
issues in our community. We have to understand that LGBTQ people
Are
are
black
they're black
first.
first,
Yeah.
and so they are our people, and we have to ally with them.
Yep.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't learn something from
But you're
melanated
just not
people
gonna be the
about
center.
sex.
You're not going to be the center. And that's that people that have come up to us have been like, oh, is this for me? Yes, this is for you because you have sex. It's for everybody. But you're not going to be the center. Yeah. And that is the issue.
We're gonna be talking about issues. But if you feel that way, don't come.
Right.
Yeah. Because this is going to be a place of love and support and inclusion. Yep. So if you do feel that way, good. Maybe the word melanated will keep out the people that we don't want there.
I think it's a great term.
Yeah.
It's a great
what
term.
I'm saying is that the ones who feel some type of way, but the ones who are just like, they could like, well, can I still come? Because I really love y'all. I want to come. Yeah. But the ones who like, good. Don't stay away because that's not the vibe that we're bringing here. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, but we told you. Yes. We told you a long time ago because she came to our very first event. Our niece, our baby.
I love you guys. I'm so proud of you, Mom.
Our niece came to our very first event, our very first ever event ever. Nice. And I'm about to cry.
Don't cry. I love you so much, Auntie.
She came and she supported and she bought a ticket. And she brought somebody, another dom, another black dom.
And she also demoed with us with the sex position.
We still have those videos. I still have those videos.
I just saw them actually on the video.
I have those videos. And when I tell you that when the pandemic hit, yes, it set us back, but it set us up for what we are doing now.
Yeah.
Which is, and it brought us to what we are right now, which is here doing this expo, because we told you we were doing this expo.
Yes, and we bringing y'all here to elevate y'all.
We're going to be there.
And just give you a platform. And so we're really excited. You guys, get your tickets.
Ticket.
OM Goddess. Yes. omgoddesses.com. That's OMGODDESSES.com/expo. It tells everything about it. We no longer need talent. We close that up, but we do need sponsors. We need vendors and we need volunteers. And I'll add that on the site with a link to fill out a form to volunteer because we're going to need some help. And you guys are this is going to be an amazing experience.
And we're taking donations as well. So if you
we'll put that on there as well.
So if you cannot sponsor with our packages, we will take $20.
We'll take $20. We'll take $10.
Because hook or crook, this has got to be done. It's a need for
stuff that there's a laundry list of things that we still have to get.
Yeah.
And we only have 37 days to get them.
Yeah.
So we need all the help that we can get financially to do what we need to do in order to bring Sir Siphon and Dr. Tamara Rose.
Yes, Dr. Tamara Rose is a womb healer. So y'all don't think that we just gonna only be talking about sex. We're gonna be talking about healing, sexual trauma. We're gonna talk about nutrition.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about cannabis health.
We can't get deep into everything. We just gonna introduce a little things. We're giving people a platform. But you guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
And this isn't the first. I told you definitely we want to have you on talking about asexuality.
I will be back.
And I just want to say that the love is real, y'all. The love is real. You guys are watching Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with the Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. And we are out, but thank you.
We're out. Bye. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you for watching Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. Please continue to tune in and keep watching. And follow us at omgoddesses.com. Join our VIP list, or Facebook and IG at omgoddesses20 and Twitter at omgoddesses.